Have you ever stood in front of the mirror, outfit on point, makeup done, hair set, yet something still feels off? You look fine, but not finished, not elegant. It's like something small, almost invisible, is missing. You're not alone. Studies in behavioral psychology show that we judge a person's elegance and status within just 7 seconds of seeing them. And it's often the subtle, well-chosen details that make all the difference. Today, we're not chasing trends, labels, or age-defying illusions. We're embracing what truly works. 8 timeless accessories that instantly elevate how others perceive you and how you perceive yourself. These aren't gimmicks. They're quiet signals of self-respect, intention, and inner grace. So if you've ever wondered how some women just have that look, stay with me. By the end of this video, that woman could be you. Elegance isn't expensive. When we hear the word elegance, many people instantly think of luxury brands, red carpets, or magazine covers. But here's the truth. Elegance is not the same as expensive. In fact, some of the most elegant women in the world wear simple outfits, yet carry themselves with unmistakable grace. Social psychology research, such as that published in the Journal of Consumer Research, reveals that people often associate quiet signals, like minimalist accessories or clean lines, with higher status than flashy, logo-heavy items. This concept is known as quiet luxury or stealth wealth, and it's based on a subconscious perception. If someone doesn't need to show off, they must already have it. Compare that to loud luxury, bold prints, big logos, sparkling overload. These scream for attention. But elegance? Elegance whispers. Elegance is in the choices. A subtle silk scarf tied just right, a watch with a clean dial, a belt that fits your figure perfectly. These don't shout, but people notice them, and they notice you. True elegance is intentional, not accidental. It comes from knowing yourself, choosing with care, and respecting your own presence enough to finish your look thoughtfully. Not for others, but for you. Because here's the secret. You don't need to spend more. You just need to select better. And once you see elegance this way, you'll realize you already have more of it than you thought. 8 accessories that instantly make women over 50 look rich and elegant. Number 1. The timeless watch. A watch does more than tell time. It tells your story. For women over 50, the right watch can instantly add an air of quiet sophistication, signaling discipline, confidence, and elegance without saying a word. In a landmark study from the Journal of Personality and Individual Differences, researchers found that people who wear watches are consistently rated as more conscientious, organized, and reliable. Why? Because in a world dominated by smartphones, choosing to wear a timepiece shows you value structure in yourself. Culturally, wristwatches have long been associated with leadership and refinement. Think of powerful women through history, from Jacqueline Kennedy to Michelle Obama, whose timepieces were often as iconic as their speeches. Today, minimalist watches with clean faces and neutral tones project calm authority. They say, "I'm in control, not I'm chasing time." Neuroscience supports this too. The human brain forms first impressions within 7 seconds, and small visual cues, like a sleek watch, impact how others assess your credibility and presence. Take Sandra, a retired principal. She used to wear a tech-heavy smartwatch, but felt it didn't match her evolving style. One day, she switched to a slim silver watch with a navy leather strap. Immediately, friends started asking if she had hired a stylist. She hadn't, but the effect was real. So if you're looking for one accessory that combines timeless beauty, practicality, and psychological power, a classic watch might be your most elegant move yet. Number 2. Structured leather handbag. A structured leather handbag doesn't just hold your belongings, it holds your presence. It's one of the few accessories that can subtly shift how others perceive you the moment you enter a room. Unlike slouchy or overstuffed bags that feel casual or chaotic, a structured handbag signals intention, clarity, and quiet authority. Research in nonverbal communication published in Social Psychological and Personality Science found that symmetry and structure in appearance, whether in posture, accessories, or clothing, correlates strongly with perceptions of social status and confidence. A clean line bag suggests the woman carrying it knows who she is and where she's going. The style rule is simple. Form matters. Opt for firm leather that holds its shape with minimal hardware and neutral tones like black, taupe, camel, or navy. Avoid flashy logos or oversized branding. You're not trying to impress. You're making a statement. Consider Marlene, a 59-year-old artist who used to carry large, colorful canvas bags. They were practical, but often made her feel invisible in professional settings. At her niece's graduation, she decided to bring a structured chestnut brown handbag with gold trim. A woman in line behind her complimented her look and asked if she worked in interior design. She didn't, but the structured elegance of her bag gave that impression. That's the quiet power of the right handbag. It doesn't shout for attention. It commands respect in a whisper. If you want to look instantly composed and elevated, start with the shape on your shoulder. Number 3. Silk scarf. A silk scarf is one of the most elegant and emotionally resonant accessories a woman can wear. It doesn't just add color or texture. It adds movement, memory, and meaning. In fashion psychology, scarves are known as bridge pieces. They tie an outfit together both visually and emotionally, connecting style with sentiment. The cultural roots of the silk scarf run deep. In France, scarves have long been associated with timeless femininity. French women have used them not to impress, but to express. Just one well-tied scarf can transform a plain blouse into a work of art, or turn a basic handbag into a personal statement. Psychologists have also noted that accessories linked to memory, like heirloom scarves, boost confidence and self-perception, especially in older adults. Take Jeanette, 63, a retired librarian. On her first solo trip to Santa Fe after her divorce, she packed lightly. Just jeans, t-shirts, and one silk scarf she hadn't worn in years. On a whim, she tied the scarf around her neck while visiting a gallery. A woman walked up to her and said, "You look like you belong here." That comment lit her up. She wore that scarf nearly every day after. It wasn't just about fashion, it was about reclaiming a piece of herself. Whether it's worn around the neck, on the wrist, or looped onto a handbag, a silk scarf reminds the world. And you, that softness can be strong, and history can be beautiful. Number 4. Gold or silver bracelet. Sometimes the smallest accessory can make the biggest impact, and a delicate bracelet proves that elegance doesn't have to be loud. A slim gold or silver bracelet doesn't just sit on your wrist. It moves with you, catching the light, adding rhythm to your gestures. Psychologists refer to this as a micro-signal, a subtle visual cue that enhances how others perceive your refinement, even if they can't consciously explain why. Neurologically, our brains are wired to notice light and movement. Repeated glimmers from a bracelet during hand gestures create a sense of fluidity and poise. It's the difference between looking dressed and looking polished. When choosing a bracelet, think graceful, not flashy. Thin chain links, bangles, or single stone accents in gold or silver work beautifully. If your skin has warm undertones, gold adds glow. If cooler, silver adds clarity. Let me tell you about Renee, 66, a former piano teacher. She had stopped wearing jewelry after retirement, thinking it was too fussy. But on her birthday, her granddaughter gave her a slender gold bracelet with a small pearl charm. Renee wore it to a local recital a week later. As she clapped, she noticed heads turning, not toward the stage, but toward her. "I felt visible," she said, "like I hadn't disappeared with age." That's the quiet power of a well-chosen bracelet. It doesn't shout. It simply moves with you, reminding both you and those around you that grace lives in the details. Number 5. Elegant sunglasses. Sunglasses are more than a sunny day necessity. They're a fast track to instant elegance. The right pair does more than protect your eyes. It frames your face, sharpens your features, and subtly shifts your energy. Psychologists and fashion behaviorists often talk about the barrier of confidence effect. When we wear sunglasses, we're less visually exposed. This often results in improved posture, reduced self-consciousness, and a greater sense of personal presence. It's not vanity, it's psychology. On a biological level, sunglasses also increase facial symmetry. A 2020 study in Perception Journal confirmed that balance features are strongly associated with attractiveness. Properly fitted frames help center visual lines on the face, making you appear both calmer and more confident. Now meet Teresa, 64, a retired accountant from Portland. She had always worn generic sports sunglasses, function over fashion. One day, her daughter took her to a boutique and insisted she try on a pair of oversized, soft square tortoiseshell frames. At first, Teresa laughed. "I'm not a celebrity." But when she looked in the mirror, something changed. "I looked polished," she said. Later that week, while waiting in line at the farmer's market, a stranger smiled and said, "I love your look. It's very Audrey Hepburn." Teresa was stunned. No one had complimented her style in years. That's what elegant sunglasses can do. They're not just shielding your eyes, they're highlighting your quiet strength. And sometimes, confidence begins with a single glance in the mirror and from others. Number 6. Pearls. Pearls are not about glamour, they're about grace. Unlike diamonds or crystals that dazzle with light, pearls glow softly, offering a kind of radiance that comes not from flash, but from depth. That glow is what makes them timeless. Across cultures and generations, pearls have been worn by women of substance, from first ladies like Jackie Kennedy to civil rights icons like Coretta Scott King. Their quiet shine communicates maturity, wisdom, and confidence without arrogance. In marketing psychology, brands often use pearl tones to signal trust, heritage, and authenticity, qualities women over 50 embody in abundance. Styling pearls is beautifully simple. A single strand over a black sweater, a double loop with a white blouse, or even worn casually with denim and a blazer for a refined contrast. Pearls don't belong only in formal settings. They belong wherever you want to feel composed and seen. Let me tell you about Yvonne, 68, a former marine biologist. For decades, her pearls stayed tucked away in a drawer. Too precious, she'd say. One morning, she decided to wear them to a local poetry reading. Nothing fancy, just a chambray shirt and slacks. After the reading, a young woman approached her and said, "You remind me of someone who's lived a beautiful life." That comment stayed with her. Since then, Yvonne wears her pearls at least once a week. Not to impress, but to connect. Because pearls don't just decorate, they speak. And what they say is always quietly powerful. Number 7. The modern brooch. The brooch may be small, but its message can be mighty. Once thought of as old-fashioned, today's brooch is having a modern renaissance. Worn not just for decoration, but as a subtle, stylish way to tell your story. Brooches offer personal symbolism in a way few other accessories do. Whether it's a bird, a flower, or an abstract shape, these tiny works of art express something about who you are or where you've been. A 2022 Psychology Today survey found that people who wear meaningful accessories are perceived as 12% more trustworthy and authentic because they show intentionality, not just style. Beyond symbolism, brooches are incredibly versatile. You can pin one on the lapel of a blazer, fasten a scarf, or even decorate a tote bag. They're a quiet way of saying, "This is me." Take Felicia, 61, a retired history teacher for Boston. She found an antique compass brooch at a flea market while traveling in Scotland. She wore it on her navy wool coat during her next visit to a local bookstore. The owner noticed and struck up a conversation. It turned out they'd both studied maritime navigation history. That brooch didn't just enhance her look, it sparked connection. Now, Felicia wears a different brooch every week, each one a chapter of her life. For her, they're more than accessories. They're conversation starters, memory holders, and silent statements of self. The brooch is back, not as a relic, but as a badge of quiet identity. Number 8. Leather belt with minimal buckle. Never underestimate the power of a well-chosen belt. It's more than a functional piece. It's the quiet detail that brings structure, balance, and purpose to your entire look. A belt visually defines your waist, helping create shape where you want it and polish where you need it. Design experts often refer to the belt as a framing tool. Just like a picture frame gives artwork its context, a leather belt gives your outfit its intended silhouette. Medium width styles and soft leather with a minimal buckle are ideal. They draw the eye gently to the center, creating symmetry and calm. Psychologists have noted that symmetry in clothing enhances perceived competence and composure, especially in professional or public settings. Use it over dresses, sweaters, or tailored blazers whenever you feel your outfit needs finishing. Stick to classic tones like black, tan, or chocolate for maximum versatility. Let me tell you about Angela, 65, a retired interior designer. She used to avoid belts, thinking they cut her in half. But during a weekend workshop, she borrowed her friend's slim leather belt to cinch a flowy cardigan. The transformation was instant. "I look like I actually meant to get dressed," she laughed. Later that day, the workshop leader asked if Angela would help lead a design critique. She wasn't on the schedule, but she looked completely ready. That's the power of a great belt. It doesn't just hold your clothes together, it pulls your presence into focus. Here's the truth. Elegance is a decision, not a budget. It's not something you need to chase in department stores or designer labels. It starts quietly, from within, with how you choose to present yourself to the world, and more importantly, how you treat yourself when no one is watching. True elegance doesn't require a full makeover. It's in the details. The way your bracelet catches light as you reach for your coffee, the soft glint of a pearl at your neck, or how a simple belt brings structure and intention to an otherwise loose outfit. Elegance begins the moment you choose to value yourself enough to finish the look, not for others, but for you. And here's the best part. You don't need all 8 accessories to get started. In fact, you probably already have one of them in your closet or jewelry box. Maybe it's a silk scarf you haven't touched in years, a brooch you inherited but never wore, or that one classic watch tucked in a drawer. Start with just one. Wear it intentionally. Notice how you feel and how others respond. Because when you choose grace, polish, and presence, you radiate something rare in today's noisy world, quiet confidence. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of the 8 accessories surprised you the most? Which one do you already own, but forgot the power it holds? Leave a comment, and let's start that conversation below. I read every one. And don't miss the next video, because we're going one step further. I'll show you how to pair these 8 accessories with different outfits and occasions. From a casual brunch with friends to a weekend getaway, or even a quiet evening at home where you still want to feel beautifully put together. Remember, elegance doesn't demand attention. It earns it. And today, you've just reclaimed it. You already are the woman you've been waiting to become. Now, let's dress like her.